So many of us believe that once we finally reach some goal, once we get the job, the house, the recognition, then we'll finally feel whole. But what if that day never comes? Today I want to talk about Scottie Scheffler, King Solomon, and the myth that can cause us to miss our whole lives. A few weeks ago, Scottie Scheffler, the #1 golfer in the world, sat down in a press conference on the eve of one of the biggest tournaments of the year, the British Open. Scottie had won 6 out of his last 10 starts. He's the best athlete in the game. He has the trophy shelf, the bank account, the new baby, the fans' adoration, the big headlines. And yet, when someone asked him what it felt like to be on top of the world, he paused and then he said, "It feels like you work your whole life for these moments, and then they only last a few minutes. You win and you're on to the next thing. You eat dinner, you move on, and sometimes, honestly, I don't understand the point." Let that sink in for a second. This wasn't a man who'd failed, who was bitter because things didn't go his way. This is a guy at the top. He got everything he wanted. He reached the pinnacle of success. He earned millions and millions of dollars, and yet he's asking, what's the point? But don't so many of us fall into this trap? I know I have. We think, once I get the house, the raise, the retirement fund, once the kids are settled, once the chaos stops, once I get there, wherever there is, then I'll be fulfilled. But friends, this is the myth of arrival. This is the illusion that just around the corner, life will make sense. We'll be secure, at peace, fulfilled. Ecclesiastes is this strange, haunting, beautiful book tucked deep in the Old Testament. It begins by describing the book's author, the teacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. Now that's a pretty unmistakable profile of Solomon, the wisest, richest, most powerful man in Israel's history. He's standing at the end of his life, looking back over all of it, and he says in this book, "Vanity of vanities, everything is vanity." Or in today's language, it's all smoke and mirrors. You try to grab onto it, but it's always just out of reach. Just like Scottie Scheffler, Solomon had it all: wisdom, wealth, power, accomplishment, influence. If anyone should have felt fulfilled, if anyone had arrived, it was him. And yet he looked back over all his palaces, his success, his carefully built legacy, and he says something that sounds remarkably similar to Scottie's declaration. "Sometimes, honestly, I just don't understand the point." Or, "Vanity of vanities, everything is vanity." You see, this myth of arrival isn't new. It's ancient and universal. In his book, The Road to Character, David Brooks writes, "Success is always passing. It's always a mirage, slightly out of reach. It is a temporary burst of applause that soon fades." And yet so many of us believe that if we finally achieve whatever it is that we're striving for, then we will be fulfilled, at peace, complete. But if it didn't work for Solomon, and it didn't work for Scottie Scheffler, why do we think it will work for us? So here's the invitation from the Bible into something more lasting. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the dream job or the kids to settle or the calendar to open up or the storms to pass. Jesus doesn't meet us at the finish line. He's running to meet us today. Today is where the kingdom is. Today is where grace meets you. Today is where generosity can grow and joy can take root. You don't have to arrive in order to begin. You don't have to be finished in order to be faithful. You don't have to be perfect in order to be present to this moment. Annie Dillard, the Pulitzer Prize-winning author, once wrote, "How we spend our days is, of course, how we spend our lives." It's a piercing, poetic reminder to stop waiting for life to begin. Because this day, this moment, this is your life. And if we're not careful, we'll spend our whole lives almost living. If this reflection has meant something to you, I'd invite you to like the video or subscribe for more reflections like this, or share this with someone. It might mean something to someone in your life. I look forward to seeing you again, and in the meantime, God bless you.